Hi everyone, this is Jessica Lahore with Ask a Lahore. So this is my third video and you made the comments, and so I promised to answer every single time I was on my way to a show, and I'm on my way to the Foreplay Cabaret down at M Uptown in Denver, so I'm going to be leaving right after this video. And I'm coming to you live from my drag room with all of the wigs that I just organized and tons of shit just everywhere. So like I said, the last couple videos, you've been really great about viewing those videos and sending me some love and some support. I've got a bunch more subscribers and a lot of other people that are liking the videos. They've a lot of questions and curiosities, and so I'm going to encourage you again to comment on any video or these next upcoming videos about things that you want me to talk about, curiosities about myself as a drag performer. If you want my opinion on something, if you want just some random advice, I'm here for it all. Try to stump me, try to make me uncomfortable, try to be serious on me, doesn't matter. The first question that I had was, where was my first performance as Jessica? How would I describe it, the song, outfit, and what did you wear? So I consider my very first performance as Jessica Lahore. Like, I decided that this was my thing, my solo performance, and I got paid. Like, my first gig was at Suede Nightclub in Loveland that flooded just the very next month, 3 years ago. My first performance was to Oops by Tweet featuring Missy Elliott, which was really funny. It was a red, white, and blue show, so I chose that song for whatever reason, and I wore really cheap Walmart stuff, and I stripped down to just a bra and underwear, basically. So it was very scary. It was very liberating. It was very different and interesting. I got a lot of tips and a lot of advice from the DJ and from the other performers, and so that was really awesome as well. But yeah, I loved it, and that's kind of where it all started. That was my very first performance. I remember that, and I was asked if I wanted to do two, and I was like, oh, two performances, like, that's a lot. Like, that's what professional queens do, is two performances. So I was like, so anyway, I can just do the one. I just can't do the two. It freaks me out. And when I got there, I was like, ugh, I should have done two. It wasn't that scary or anything like that. So that was my first time in drag, like, as Jessica Lahore, that I consider. Technically, my first time performing was at a CSU drag show with some friends as Jessica, and I don't know if it was Lahore at that time because I had a different name for a little bit, but that was also a spark of loving to be on the stage, and I didn't ever think that this was going to go past doing it just the once a semester at CSU, so it's very exciting to see where I am now, all things considered. Next question is, what is your spirit animal? And if you were a bowl of cereal, what kind of cereal you would be? So those are combined. I don't like to use the term spirit animal. I think that it's really offensive. Technically, the idea of utilizing spirit animal comes from a Native American background, and me being a social justice freak, I would say the animal that best describes me, to get around that, would probably be either an owl, because they're like cute and they're always awake and up, and they're like the coolest, most pretty bird in my opinion, and they keep to themselves unless you like claw at them or they want something really bad. The other thing that I would probably be is either a chameleon, because they adapt to their surroundings and they're really to themselves, but they're very, very smart animals. Or a pig, because pigs are my favorite animal ever, and they're the cutest things. And even though I don't consider myself a pig necessarily, I just think they're so adorable, and if I had to pick something that I would want to like have other people love, it would be a pig. If I were a bowl of cereal, what kind of cereal would you be? Well, I'd be my adult cereal, which is probably just bran flakes. Like, I really like old people cereal, so like plain Cheerios or plain corn flakes or like almond Special K. I really like old people cereal a lot. If I were to think on the other side, the only kid cereal that I'm like obsessed with and that really describes me or whatever, it would be Fruity Pebbles. They're delicious. I could eat a whole box in one sitting, and that's probably why I never got them growing up, because I just love them so freaking much. They're delicious. And then the milk just tastes even better after. I'm one of those people that like drowns their cereal in milk just because I want more to drink at the end of it. So yeah, that's the cereal that best describes me, or what I would be, if that's the question. Do I have a pre-show ritual? What kind of music do you listen to? What does it affect your paint and final look? The only pre-show ritual that I have is that I get into the mindset that I'm getting ready to go to the gig. And unfortunately, some of my rituals, like I would like to have a drink with myself while I'm painting because I think it's relaxing and listen to music at the same time. But because I drive from Fort Collins, I very rarely have a drink while I'm painting. Other pre-show rituals, nothing really. I mean, I shave my face sometimes. Or my legs, depending on the day of the show. The kind of music that I listen to everything. My music is completely shuffled from Broadway musicals to rap, hip-hop, to some rock and roll, to Disney music, which I'm a Disney freak. And I just listen to music that gets me in the mood and makes me like jiggle my ass a little bit and kind of like get into the mindset. And it doesn't really necessarily affect my paint. I never really have a plan when I do my makeup. I kind of just look at something and either I'll force myself to use specific colors, or I'll force myself to try something that I was inspired by on Instagram or by another performer and just try my interpretation of that. So I don't have something that really just sets me in a makeup mood. I'm really just trying whatever. Sometimes I just have to force myself to do one thing and not change it last minute. The last question that I'll answer, because I do have a lot this time, which is great. How long have you been doing drag, and how do you afford everything? And they said I was very pretty, so I appreciate that too. I've been doing drag for 3 years. Just a couple weeks ago, I turned 3 years old as Jessica. And how do I afford everything? At first, it was a huge investment. Finding bargain deals, finding things that I could use or manipulate for multiple purposes or multiple outfits, and not just mall clothes, which I think everybody needs to start somewhere, and so I have a bunch of that stuff. I was very fortunate to be working a lot in college, so I had 4 or 5 jobs at a time that on top of drag that I would be able to spend money on. I'm really good at finding coupons. I'm really good at finding sales or finding discounts, and finding things that look more expensive than they are. There have been times where you just can't afford it and it's really rough, but as you progress and as you invest more appropriately and responsibly, you learn to use your money more wisely, and you learn what kind of looks you're going for rather than just like, oh, buy this, buy this, buy that. And your collection builds up where you can slowly recycle some things from months ago. Same thing with wigs and shoes and stuff that haven't been out in a while, but overall, it's very expensive, and it's not something that I still am learning to responsibly afford drag, but I've gotten a lot better at it, and I'm at a place where drag is helping pay for itself now, which is really, really fantastic, and so that's my encouraging. Those were all so good! All those questions were amazing! This video is almost 10 minutes long, which is what I've been wanting. So again, find me on Facebook, Jessica Lahore. Like my page, please. I'm almost at 1,000 likes. Find me on Instagram at _L.Hore. Comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, make more comments on these videos. I'm really excited to continue to do this, and this is just progressing. I'm getting more and more views, so yeah, I hope you all have a great day. See you at the show later if you're coming out. Bye!